Page 126, Hine Ma Tov.
הנה מה טוב ומנעים, שבת אחים גם יחד. הנה מה טוב ומנעים, שבת אחים גם יחד. הנה מה טוב, שבת אחים גם יחד. הנה מה טוב, שבת אחים גם יחד. הנה מה טוב ומנעים, שבת אחים גם יחד. הנה מה טוב ומנעים, שבת אחים גם יחד. הנה מה טוב, שבת אחים גם יחד. הנה מה טוב, שבת אחים גם יחד.
Yedid Nefesh, Heart's Delight, page 126 as well.
ידיד נפש אף הרחמן, ידיד נפש אף הרחמן, משוב עבדך אל רצונך, משוב עבדך ילי לי 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 לי
And so we share a prayer as we come into the sanctuary. Page 129. We enter this shul to welcome Shabbat. Within these walls we sit surrounded by the numberless generations. Our ancestors built this shul as a visible sign of God's presence in their midst. Throughout our long history and our endless wanderings, it has endured, a beacon of truth, love, and justice for all humanity. Its presence guided our ancestors to lives of righteousness, holding up to them a vision of their truest selves. Now we, in our turn, come into the sanctuary to affirm the sacredness of our lives. May we enter this place in peace. May holiness wrap around us as we cross its threshold. Weariness, doubt, the flaws within our human hearts, the harshness of the weak, let these drop away at the door. In the brightness of Shabbat, let peace settle upon us as we lift our hearts in prayer, in tefillah. We turn to page 131 for Shiru Ladonai, the songs for God.
שירו לאדוני, שירו שיר חדש, שירו לאדוני כל הארץ. שירו לאדוני, שירו שיר חדש, שירו לאדוני כל הארץ. שירו לאדוני ברכו שמו, בסרו מיום ליום ישועתו. שירו לאדוני ברכו שמו, בסרו מיום ליום ישועתו. שירו לאדוני, שירו שיר חדש, שירו לאדוני כל הארץ, שירו לאדוני, שירו שיר חדש, שירו לאדוני כל הארץ, שירו לאדוני ברכו שמו, פסו מיום ליום ישועתו, שירו לאדוני ברכו שמו, פסו מיום ליום ישועתו.
Page 134, Zamru Ladonai.
זמרו לאדוני בכינו, בכינו בקול זמרה, בחצוצרות וקול שופר, הריעו לפני המלך אדוני, ירום הים ומלואו, תבל ויושבי בה, נהרות ימחו חוף, יחד ערים ירננו, לפני אדוני קיווה, קיווה לשפוט הארץ, ישפוט תבל בצדק, ועמים במישרים, ירום הים ומלואו, תבל ויושבי בה, נהרות ימחו חוף, יחד ערים ירננו.
And as part of our Kabbalat Shabbat, we turn to Lechadodi, page 138.
לך דודי לקראת קלה, פני שבת נקבלה. 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 שמעו וזכו בדיבור אחד, השמיענו אל המיוחד, אדוני אחד ושמו אחד, לשמות תפארת ולתהילה. לך דודי לקראת קלה, פני שבת נקבלה. לך דודי לקראת קלה, פני שבת נקבלה. לקראת שבת לכו ונלכה, כי מקור הברכה, מראש מקדם נסוכה, סוף מעשה במרשה ותחילה. לך דודי לקראת קלה, פני שבת נקבלה. לך דודי לקראת קלה, פני שבת נקבלה. התעוררי, התעוררי, כי בעורר קומי אורי, 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 שדברי, כבוד אדוני עלייך נגלה. לך דודי לקראת קלה, פני שבת נקבלה. לך דודי לקראת קלה, פני שבת נקבלה. בואי בשלום עטרת בעלה, גם בשמחה ובצהלה, תוך אמוני עם סגולה. בואי חלה, בואי חלה. Lecha dodi likat kala, Pnei Shabbat nekabela. Lecha dodi likat kala, Pnei Shabbat nekabela.
As we have welcomed Shabbat with the lighting of our, we haven't lit our Shabbat candles just yet.
I'm going to do now.
With Lecha dodi. Emily, I'd like to invite you to light our Shabbat candles and our candle of hope, please, for the hostages. And we are on page 118. We like this one first because there isn't a bracha for that. And then we go into the... No, I hope not.
It's the air conditioning, it blows them out.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu echadlik ner shel Shabbat.
Amen.
And as we've lit our Shabbat candles, like Terry Williams, I'd like to welcome you back to Temple David. It's been a while since some of us have seen you. I wasn't much shorter than I am now. Gina, I know he doesn't like me making jokes about my height, but I do. Oh, it's lovely to have you back. It's been about 20-something years. But it is lovely to have you back in our congregation. So welcome home.
Thank you so much.
And it's really good to see you.
That's lovely.
Well, and I think it was our live streaming that brought you back. So that's, Gina, isn't that great?
That's
so those of you who
fantastic.
are joining us through our live streaming, we welcome you. And let's take a moment turning to one another, wishing one another, each other, a Shabbat Shalom.
Shalom. Shabbat shalom. You can make jokes about your height. I'm just telling you that you're perfect the way you are.
Thank you. I would like to acknowledge that we are gathered on the traditional lands of the Whadjuk people of the Noongar Nation and pay my respects to elders past and present. And as we move forward in our Siddur, we turn to Shalom Aleichem on page 142.
Shalom Aleichem, Malachei Hasharet, Malachei Elyon. Mi melech Malchei Hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Bochem LaShalom, Malachei HaShalom, Malachei Elyon. Mi melech Malchei Hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Bachuni LeShalom, Malachei HaShalom, Malachei Elyon. Mi melech Malchei Hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Tzedrom LeShalom, Malachei HaShalom, Malachei Elyon. Mi melech Malchei Hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu.
We rise for the Chatzi Kaddish on the next page, 144.
יתגדל ויתקדש מרבה, בעלמא דיברך ירוצי וימלך מלכותי, אחריך וביומך ובראי לכל בית ישראל, עגלה ובשמחת קריב, ויאמרו אמן. יהי שמך המבורך, לעולם עולם אלמיה, יתברך, יתברך וישתבח, ויתרע ויתרומן ויתנשא, ויתעלה ויתעלה ויתעלה, שמי קדושה ברכו, לעילא מן כל ברכתה ושירתה, תושבעתה ונחמתה, תמירן בעלמא, ויאמרו אמן. ברכו את אדוני המבורך. ברוך אדוני המבורך, המבורך לעולם ועד. המבורך, המבורך לעולם ועד.
And I'll share a reading, page 149. Praise to you, eternal, our God, from whom the evening flows. Your wisdom sets the way on which time and season glide. Your breath guides the sail of the stars. Creator of the tide of time and light, you guide the current of day into night. As heaven spans to infinity, you set its course for eternity. Praise to you, eternal, our God, from whom the evening flows. Baruch
atah Adonai, hamariv aravim. Ahavat olam, Beit Yisrael, Amecha ahavta, Amcha ahavta, Torah umitzvot, Hukim umishpatim, Otanu limadeta, Otanu limadeta. Al kain Adonai Eloheinu b'shachbeinu ufkumeinu na'asiya b'chukecha v'nismach b'divrei Toratecha ובמצוותיך לעולם ועד, כי הם חיינו ואורך ימינו, ובהם נגה יומם ולילה, לקיומם בלילה, ואהבת רע אל תסיר ממנו לעולמים. ברוך אתה אדוני, אוהב עמו ישראל, אוהב עמו ישראל. שמע ישראל, אדוני אלוהינו, אדוני אחד. ברוך שם כבוד מלכותו לעולם ועד.
You may be seated.
ואהבת את אדוני אלוהיך בכל לבבך ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודיך, והיו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבביך, ושננתם לבניך ודיברת בם בשבתך בביתך ובלכתך בדרך ובשוכבך ובקומך, וקשתם לאות על ידיך, והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך, וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך, למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותיי, והייתם קדושים ללכם. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים, להיות לכם לאלוהים. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אדוני אלוהיכם אמת.
Page 157. Standing on the parted shores of history, we still believe what we were taught before ever we stood at Sinai's foot, that wherever we go it is eternally Egypt, that there is a better place, there is a promised land, that the winding way to that promise passes through the wilderness, that there is no way to get from here to there except by joining hands, marching together. Our Song of Freedom, Mi Chamocha, on page 158.
Mi chamocha, mi chamocha, mi chamocha, ba'elim Adonai, mi kamocha, mi kamocha, mi kamocha, nida b'kodesh, malchutecha ra'u vanecha, bokei hayam lifnei Moshe u'Miriam, zeli anu ve'amru Adonai yimloch le'olam va'ed.
ונאמר, כי פדה אדוני את יעקב, וגאלו מיד חזק ממנו, ברוך אתה אדוני, גאל ישראל. And we share our prayer of protection, Hashkivenu, page 160.
השכיבנו אדוני אלוהינו לשלום, והעמידנו מלכנו לחיים. השכיבנו אדוני אלוהינו לשלום, והעמידנו מלכנו לחיים.
ופרוס עלינו סוכת שלומך, ותקננו בעצה טובה מלפניך, והושיענו למען שמך, והגן בעדנו והסר מעלינו אויב, דבר וחרב ורעב ויגון, והרחק ממנו עוון ופשע, ובצל כנפיך תסתירנו, כי אל שומרנו ומצילנו אתה, כי אל חנון ורחום אתה. ושמור צאתנו ובואנו לחיים ולשלום מעתה ועד עולם.
ברוך אתה אדוני, הפורש סוכת שלום עלינו, ועל כל עמו ישראל ועל ירושלים.
Return to Vishamru on page 162.
ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. ביני ובין בני ישראל, ביני ובין בני ישראל, אותי לעולם, אותי לעולם. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. כי ששת ימים, כי ששת ימים עשה אדוני את השמיים ואת הארץ. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. וביום השביעי שבת וינפש. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם.
Let us rise for the Amidah on page 164.
Adonai sefata tiftach ufi yagit hilatecha. Adonai sefata tiftach ufi yagit hilatecha. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu Elohei avotenu v'imotenu Elohei Avraham Elohei Yitzchak Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, Elohei Leah, Ha'el Hagadol, Hagibor v'Hanora, El Elyon, Gomel Chasadim Tovim, V'konei Hakol, V'zocher Chasdei Avot v'Imot, U'mevii Gula Lifnei B'nei למען שמו ויערה, מלך עוזר ומושיע ומגן, ברוך אתה אדוני, הוגן אברהם לעזרת שרה.
שפע רוח ומוריד הגשם, מצליח השמש ומוריד הטל, מחלקל חיים בחסד, מחיה הכל ברחמים רבים, צומם נופלים מרחפי עולים, ומתיע אסורים, ומקיים אמונתו לשנה יפה, מגמות אבל גבורות, ומדום מלוך, מלך מביט ומחיה, ומצמיח ישועה, ולמען אתה לחיות הכל, ברוך אתה אדוני, בחיי הכל.
אתה קדוש ושמך קדוש, וקדושים בכל יום יחלו פסלה. ברוך אתה אדוני, האל הקדוש. We continue silently now with the prayers of our hearts or the words of the page, coming together with page 180. יהיו לרצון אמרי והגיון ליבי לפניך. Adonai tzuri v'goali, may the words of my mouth and the meditations of my heart be acceptable to you, O God, my rock and my redeemer.
Ose shalom bimromav, uyarase shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael, ve'al kol yoshvei tevel, ve'imru, amen. Ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la. Ose shalom bimromav, uyase shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael, ve'al kol yoshvei tevel, ve'imru, amen.
May God bring peace to the entire world, and let us say,
Amen.
Amen. So you can see we got quite a setup here for tomorrow's bat mitzvah for Billy Weiser. And it's quite exciting because I feel like I'm out of practice with the whole Zoom and COVID. COVID feels another world away to some, maybe not to others. We're doing the whole Zoom setup when we used to, well, when I don't know what you did here in Perth. You didn't have COVID in Perth, but we certainly had it in Victoria. So everything was done via Zoom, and it was quite something. But it feels like a memory ago in some ways when you had, I mean, to the fact that we even had a TV installed permanently in the sanctuary at TBI. Kind of like that. It was a little bit bigger than that. And could you imagine what would happen if we had the TV installed just over here? And then we could actually pull it away. Pull it over, open it, yeah? 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 Derby weekend, it would be great, huh? Yeah, absolutely. NASCAR. We could have the footy. It would be fantastic, right? Not so much. But yeah, so some of the family that couldn't make it from Sacramento, Israeli family, but they made Aliyah to Sacramento. They did go north. So some of the family came from Sacramento and arrived, and the rest will be called in for an Aliyah. I mean, it's wonderful that we can do that, isn't it? In today's world, but it feels like a memory ago. I want to share with you a poem, and Jeffrey, you're not allowed to tell me who wrote it, because I have a feeling you might be the one who knows who wrote it. It's in translation. It was written in Hebrew, and I'm going to give you the translation, but it's not the whole poem, because and it's graphic. I apologize that the poem is graphic. David, maybe you might get it. Ken, you might get it. So, and I'm sharing this because of our parasha being on Toldot and about generations and linking it to memory, and I'll tell you why. You might get it too. You all might get it. And it goes like this. Get up and walk through the city of the massacre, and with your hand touch and lock your eyes on the cooled brain and clots of blood, dried on tree trunks, rocks, and fences. It is they. Go to the ruins, to the gaping breaches, to walls and hearths, hearths shattered as though by thunder, concealing the blackness of a naked brick. The crowbar has embedded itself deeply like a crushing crowbar, and those holes are like black wounds for which there is no healing or doctor. Take a step, and your footstep will sink. You have placed your foot in fluff, into fragments of utensils, into rags, into shreds of books. Bit by bit they were amassed through arduous labor, and in a flash, everything is destroyed. And you will come out into the road. Acacias are blooming and pouring their aroma, and their blooms are like fluff, and they smell as though of blood. And their sweet fumes will enter your breast as though deliberately, beckoning you to springtime and to life and to health. And the dear little sun warms and teasing your grief. Splinters of broken glass burn with a diamond fire. God sent everything at once. Everyone feasted together, the sun and the spring and the Red Massacre. Do you know who wrote it? Oh, you don't? Ah. The title of it is obviously in English. It's called In the City of Slaughter, Be'ir HaHarega. And it was written in, does anybody want to give me a sense of when it was written? What year? Yeah, take a wild guess. Not 1968, if that's what you meant. Another guess? I'll take two more guesses. Not 1948. 73. Not 73. Not last year. It was written by a Nachum Chaim Bialik in the year 1904 after the Kishinev pogrom in Russia. It almost feels like it was written last year, doesn't it? You get that feeling, you get that sense. And the reason why I share it was not so much for its graphic detail, although it feels so poignant and so relevant and so real for today, but because of a quote I was reminded of when listening to a podcast on Jewish identity through Pardes, that from Jonathan Safran Foer, who wrote the book Everything is Illuminated in 2002. And he wrote this quote. So this is obviously in 2002, a long time ago. Well, relatively long. He wrote, now listen carefully to the phrasing. When a Jew encounters a pinprick, he asks, what does it remember like? Are you with me? Not what does it feel like, but what does it remember like? So when we prick ourselves, we don't ask ourselves, oh, what does that feel like? But what does it remember like? So when we feel something, when something happens, we don't say, oh, for the here and the now. We take ourselves back in history and we say, what did our ancestors have a common experience? And how did they deal with this too? He also said that Jews have 6 senses. What are the 6 senses? Touch, taste, sight, smell, hearing, and memory. Because our whole world is encouched in memory. Remember that you were slaves in Egypt. Yizkor, Yatzeit. Everything we do is about remembering. Everything. Everything we do is about memory, whether we like it or whether we don't. And we are stubborn people like that. We are a stubborn people like that. To the point that even in this week's parasha, when you've got Esau and you've got Jacob and you've got their parents, and you've got that whole story of these patriarchs and the matriarchs, we bring these stories up again and again and again, and even name our Torah portion Toldot, meaning generations. And in that is implicit, for me anyway, is this understanding of memory. That everything we do in generations is passed in 2 ways. Passed down, and passed up. It's passed down to us, and then we pass down. And I share that poem only in the sense of, yes, to say, Ein tachat chadash hashemayim, there's nothing new under the sun, as Ecclesiastes so poetically said. I've probably messed up the Hebrew, but you'll forgive me for that. The point is there. But to kind of say, each generation dealt with things like a pinprick, not for its insignificance of the pinprick, but to say, where is the memory in that? And so when next time you prick yourself with a pin, hopefully not severely, you will ask yourself the question, where is the memory in this? Or it's when something else happens, where is the memory? Just like when Terry walked in tonight, how much were you filled with memories? And for those of you who are relatively new, it's the creation of new memories. Shabbat Shalom. We turn to Aleinu on page 586. Terry, I'd like to invite you to open our ark, please, if that's okay with you. Put you on the spot. Make you work. Let's rise, everybody.
עלינו לשבח לאדון הכל, לתת גדולה ליוצר בראשית, שהוא נוטה שמיים ויוצא את הארץ, ומושב יקרו בשמיים ממעל, ושרינת עוזו בגופי מרומים, הוא אלוהינו אין עוד, ואנחנו גויים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא, שהוא נוציא שמיים ויוצא את הארץ, ומושב יקרו בשמיים ממעל, ושרינת עוזו בגופי מרומים, הוא אלוהינו אין עוד, אמת מלכנו אפר זולתו, ככתוב בתורתו, וידעת היום להשבות אל לבביך, כי אדוני הוא האלוהים, השמיים ממעל, על הארץ ועל הארץ מתחת אין עוד, ונאמר והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ, ויאמרו יהיה אדוני אחד, ושמו אחד.
And so we turn forward to Kaddish Yatom, the mourner's Kaddish. And the Shiva, we remember Wayne Martin, past member of the congregation and friend of Andrew and Gwen Carver, and for the Shloshim, Avril Lenzner. For the yard sites, we remember Hans and Liesel Weiser, parents of Ron Weiser, and Robert and Dorothy, parents of Joanne Weiser. That should be Robert and Dorothy Novak, parents of Joanne Weiser. And Mary Neal, mother of Trevi Weiser. Olive Cross, mother of Elsa Jadair Fisher. Ellen Heinemann, friend of Elsa Jadair Fisher. Anna Morley, daughter of Jane Figgis. Pearl Waxler, mother of Yvonne Feinberg. Marion Wise, grandmother of Aldwin Wise, mother-in-law of Catherine Teal, stepmother of Michael Wise. Margareta Blum, grandmother of Gina Davidson. Did you want to share anything about your... Sadie Loon, mother-in-law of Allison Loon. Dorothy Phillips, friend of Thelma Gunsberg. Arthur Wellesley Colley, father of Thelma Gunsberg. And Kay Vickers, grandmother of Hilary Garnelis, and Yvonne Swindell, mother of Wendy Antonovsky. Of course, we think of those who have lost their lives through war and through natural disasters. If you'd like to remember a loved one through Shiva or for through Shloshim or Yahrzeit, I invite you to share your loved one's name at this time, and if you want to share anything, please do so. Zecher Tzadik Livracha, may the memory of the righteous be for a blessing as we join together with Kaddish to support one another. Yikadal v'yikadash Shemei Rabbah, v'yamad divrach hiritei v'yamlich malchutei, hayachon of Yom Echon, v'vachayedocho Beit Yisrael, v'agalav izman kariv v'merur.
Amen.
Yahei Shemei Rabbah mevarach l'olam u'lamei almaya. Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitramam v'yitnaseh. V'yitadav v'yitaleh v'yitalal Shemei D'Kudashah.
Brechu.
Le'elam min kol berchata v'shirata. Tushbachata v'nechamata. Damiran v'yalma v'ymerur.
Amen.
Yahei Shlam Rabbah min Shemaya. V'chayim aleinu v'yakol Yisrael v'yimrur.
Amen.
Oseh shalom b'imromav. Hu ya'aseh shalom. Aleinu v'yakol Yisrael v'yimrur.
Amen.
Hamakom yinachem echem b'toch sha'ah havlei Tzion v'Yerushalayim. May the source of peace and peace to you who mourn and comfort around the world, and we say, Amen. As we are seated, just a couple of brief announcements. TDRS is on tomorrow at 9 o'clock, followed by services at 10:30, and the bat mitzvah of Billy Weiser. The congregation is invited immediately after services to join the family at Kapara Cafe in Fremantle. That is the family cafe. So anybody is invited to head along to Kapara Cafe in Fremantle, 92 Adelaide Street. On Sunday morning, the Wheatso breakfast, so hopefully people have booked to go along to it with Dr. Aaron Freidenberg. A bit late to book now, but hopefully I'll see a couple of people there. It's been a busy week for that, with the JNF morning tea as well this last week. Mahjong at 10 a.m. on Monday, not 12 because it's the first Monday of the month, and then Tuesday, Jewish history with me at 11, Wednesday, 5:15, Israeli dancing. You're going to go all the way through December?
No.
On the 19th, thank you. And then ITJ at 6:30. This is the last class if you're continuing through the new year. If you started in July, that'll be the last class. If you ending in December, then you've got one more week to go. 7:30 is Hebrew, and then Jewish history again with me for the other Hebrew, and then Jewish history again with me for the other class of history. At the same time, at 7 tonight is the National Council event with Linda Ben Menashe. So it's a free event, but you're welcome to go to that. That is pragmatic approaches to navigating the upside-down world. She's very good if you haven't seen her. She was at the conference that we were at.
And in January we had her here when we had the rabbi from Israel.
That wasn't January, that was last November.
Was it not November?
Yeah.
I thought it was at the end of January. Okay.
It
Time flies by.
does. Yeah.
But she was here then.
She was here, yeah, they were together. Friday night is Dine and Dance, And please bring a veg dish to share. Sue is out all of next week, but I'm around and I'll be in the office taking meetings and doing everything. So if you need anything, don't call anybody. You can call me. Most of you have my mobile anyway. So feel free to give me a call. Our final song is Adon Olam on page 625. And thanks to everybody who participated in Mitzvah Day. It was a massive success.
Yes.
And then you all came to the annual general meeting, which was also a very big success.
Yes. So we are singing the first and the last verses. Adon Olam Asher Malach B'terem kol Yetzir Nivra Let Nasa B'refzo kol Azai Melech Shemo Nikra Adon Olam B'yado Avkid Ruchi Beit Ishan Ba'ir Adon Olam V'im Ruchi Geviyoti Adonai li v'lo ira Adon Olam, Asher malach, b'terem kol Yetzir nivra, let nasa, v'refzo kol, azai melech shemo nikra Adon Olam.
Shabbat Shalom, everybody. Let's go out for Kiddush when you're ready.